And yo, the Sports Bag Bros podcast is coming back to you on a Monday. And you know what that means? We left carnage in our path. That path being the NFL. Some very good games yesterday, but even a great finish by the Denver Broncos coming back against the New York Giants at home. 33 unanswered points in the fourth quarter alone. I don't know if that's some kind of a record. I didn't hear the noise about it, but come on, that has to be something. This is the NFL. What's good?
What's happening? I tweeted yesterday before Denver even got the ball on the final kickoff. The Giants kicker should be bagging groceries by Tuesday or Wednesday this week. How do you miss 2 extra points and then you lose by 1 point? Man, if that dude has a job later today or tomorrow, somebody's not doing their job in the front office.
But the deal is, when you're up 32-0, you're missing extra points. They're like, okay, no big deal. You go into the fourth quarter, you're up 32-0, a missed extra point, a drop interception.
Hey, no, you got your numbers wrong. They were losing 30-24, so they were not winning 32-0.
Oh, well, was it they scored 33 points in the last quarter?
Combined, I think. I think at one point the Giants had a 19-point lead.
Okay.
So
they scored 30. Yeah, the Giants. Exactly. I thought they were going into the fourth quarter because I saw the numbers on this game. Saw some of the highlights on this game, so I was wondering. But then 33 points in the last quarter in the NFL. That happens in college, and some of the weakest teams you find, you go to the MAC, you go to the old WAC, the Mountain West. You see those kinds of scores. But for them to be able to come back when Jackson Dart, at least statistically, looks like he's fitting the bill. I've seen at least other games he's played in.
He helped him out, though. He had a bad interception.
And that one interception he threw.
Everybody in the morning show was saying that's the point of the game where you need to run the clock. And they're questioning the play calling. Like they're saying, yeah, it was a bad interception, but he should not have been put in that position. I don't know. I think it's 50-50 because most times, you call a pass play as an OC and you say, well, watch the safety or watch for this. Don't throw a bad interception. The quarterback should know not to throw a bad interception, but he still threw it. So I think they both have to take the blame. The OC, whether the head coach, whoever made that call, and the quarterback. It was a terrible pass.
And we do have to look at him being a rookie, which he is. I know even as
he didn't make up for it, though. He had a game-winning drive.
Yeah, even as a rookie,
it should have been a game-tying drive if the guy made the extra point.
But the deal is, as a rookie, you still know what's important, what's not important. I can't throw interceptions even if I'm a rookie. If you're a high school player, you know interceptions aren't good if you're a quarterback. But still, to be able to come from behind like Denver did, I mean, the Giants, I thought they would be the team on the upswing and everybody got the momentum moving forward and they may have that Cinderella story. They still may have it, but with a devastating loss like that, it doesn't look like you come back from that kind of a loss. I don't think, a lot of teams wouldn't come back from a loss like that. They've had lesser losses like that in the past and teams let that bother them for the rest of the season. This is still at pretty much the midpoint of the season.
I tell you where Daboll does deserve criticism, though. On the touchdown by Daniel Jones, where he challenged it, I don't think he needed to challenge it. They would have had it at the 10-inch line with 40 seconds and a timeout. You got scatterboo. Give it to him 3 times.
You said Daniel Jones. You threw me off with that one.
No, Daniel Jones scored the touchdown. But they called him down at first. He challenged it because he reached out before his knees hit the ball across the goal line. So they reversed the call on the field. They gave them the touchdown, and they gave the Broncos like 43 seconds. Whereas if they don't challenge it, they run another play. Maybe they get it in on the second play, and maybe there's 29 seconds.
Okay, Bo Nix.
For Bo Nix.
Yeah, you said Daniel Jones.
I don't know why I'm talking Daniel Jones. The Giants.
I was thinking about
Giants quarterback.
I know Jackson he was a
Dart.
Giant. I know he's doing
Jackson Dart.
Indy.
Jackson Dart. I'm sorry, Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
The 2 J's got me. Jackson Dart. He scored a touchdown. It initially he was ruled down short of the goal line, and Daboll challenged it, and it got reversed. Or if he doesn't make that challenge, they can run more clock, and Bo Nix has less time to go down and set up for the game-winning field goal, and they had no timeouts.
Well, Sean Payton, I guess is it Sean Payton magic
Daniel
just being
Jones.
in Denver, or is it Bo Nix magic being in Denver as a second-year quarterback, showing that progress you want to see, or just a fluke of all flukes that you just see once in a lifetime, or maybe a little bit more often, once every half a lifetime. But anyway, the Giants go down in historical fashion. 33 points scored by Denver in the fourth quarter. The NFL had some other things going on too. Your boys, the owners of 4 straight victories. This is the difference between coaches. I know people don't want to bring it up. You have Aaron Glenn, the former defensive coordinator for Detroit. You have Ben Johnson, the former offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. Completely different directions they're going. The Chicago Bears get their 4th win in a row.
Well, I think the best thing I can say is they won a game they were supposed to win. They took care of business. But as far as Caleb Williams, I'm still not seeing a whole lot of progress from him. At one point in the game, I believe he was 5 for 14. He's still making poor decisions, making bad passes. They were up 20-0, and then they let the Saints come back and make it a one-possession game. That could have gone a whole lot differently. But, they corralled it back in, and they got the dub. But I still don't think I'm not impressed. I'll just say that. I'm not impressed.
You know what? It's hard to win in that league, and 4 straight games is still just as hard, even against teams you're supposed to win against. Vegas thought so too. But, Vegas thought that the Bears should have won, and they did. But
they had Spencer Rattler giving the ball up left
Spencer
and right.
Rattler, I was about to say, 3 interceptions in that game. I watched Spencer Rattler since he was in college. And I watched him at Oklahoma. I watched him at South Carolina. I didn't think too much of him. And when he was picked up, I thought he shouldn't have been drafted. He was picked up, I think, as a 5th rounder. And then he comes in and he plays in the beginning. Last season didn't look good at all because most rookies just coming in, if you're a 5th rounder, probably not going to look good at all unless you're Tom Brady. Or he was even whatever. But going, this season here, he started looking a little better, looking like he kind of got his sea legs about him and was making some plays and making things for what he has to work with, because the Saints don't have a good team overall. And he was looking good, but yesterday, it did not look as good. 3 interceptions contributed to that, but guess who had to take the ball away? The Bears had to take it away. They had to make the play.
That's true, and they're on a good streak here. I think they're plus 10 last 3 games or so. But how about the Chiefs? It looks like the Chiefs got it figured out.
Bro, damn, yeah, right? And they're known for offense, but defense showed yesterday, man. 31-0. I wasn't expecting
it was the Raiders, but still.
It is the Raiders, but it's still that AFC West, that little story that goes with those guys. They have their own little battles that go back and forth. Even now, but the Raiders are horrible, and Ashton Jeanty continue to make you look like a genius every damn game. This dude still can't even get 3 yards of carry, barely 3 yards of carry. And I was like, how is it? But it's still the Raiders, and I still think they're McFaddening him. But nevertheless, the Rashi Rice comes back, makes plays when he gets back. But once again, it's the Raiders, but still difficult to win in the NFL. But Kansas City, maybe with I don't think all of the pressure off of them, but at least people not really expecting them to be the team they were. Kind of like I was saying, then they've gone from being absolutely elite to just being a good team that will go to the playoffs, maybe even deep, but you can't guarantee them like we've guaranteed them over the past 5 years of getting to the Super Bowl.
Right. But I don't know if you recall this, maybe week 1 or week 2, I said, let's just wait a few weeks. Let's get to midseason before we start talking MVP talk and is this team for real? Is that team for real? Because what's going on with Buffalo? We thought Buffalo was on a mission, and now they're struggling.
I don't know how. I don't know why. Josh Allen,
they came out the gates like gangbusters, man, and I don't know what happened.
I think, again, it's hard to win in this league, especially when you're one of the elite teams going into the season with a bunch of high expectations, and they have gone into it. We've seen what has happened to Baltimore, but that's injuries, but that's part of the game. The injuries and everything that comes, the battle of attrition over 17
not
games.
That many injuries. It's like half the roster seems to be injured.
The mass unit with the roster with the Baltimore Ravens. But yeah, and New England playing well now. Drake May, obviously their quarterback of the future, and it looks like it's a pretty bright future for them. And being in the AFC East doesn't help Doesn't hurt anything. All it's going to do is make your path a little easier. And with Buffalo struggling like they are, well, maybe the Patriots might just come out of the ashes and do something.
So when I said I wasn't impressed with Caleb Williams, I do see his arm talent. He does have a strong arm, but when I watch Drake May, he shows a lot. He impressed me a couple weeks ago. Bo Nix yesterday, he impressed me. He had 40 seconds to work with, get his team down there. They didn't have any timeouts, and he made 2 good-ass throws. One was in the crowd, picked up like 20 yards to get him down there. Then he got another one by the sideline. If you're watching that game, you don't know who the quarterback is, you would never say that's a guy in his second year. You think he's a seasoned pro.
Yeah, and I know some people say, but he's one of those older quarterbacks who benefited from being in college a little bit longer because of COVID and all this other crap. He had more snaps than anybody until Cam Ward was another one who had a bunch of snaps playing all over the world as well. But he is who he is. I remember Chris Winkie took a long time to go into the NFL, playing baseball, playing for Florida State, getting the national championship. He isn't playing like that or wasn't playing like that. So, yeah, give Bo credit where it deserves. And he happens to be with a quarterback coach, pretty much a quarterback's coach that knows how to just bring the best out of him. And he's showing it in his second year. He showed flashes in his rookie year. But anyway, hell, I think before we just leave from this, let's talk about a little bit of Dillon Gabriel. Not exactly great numbers, but they won in blowout fashion, 31-6 against the Miami Dolphins. I know McDaniel's going to be out of the door. I thought he was already out. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But either way, he needs to be out of the door. Probably the coach on the hottest seat in the NFL right now, even with Aaron Glenn being who he is. But I think Aaron Glenn, with all that money owed to him not to coach, if he were fired this year, is the reason why he'll be around.
I'm sure a lot of Dolphins fans want McDaniel to take Tua with him. I don't know what happened to Tua. Like, he just totally fell off the cliff.
Unbelievable, man. But either way, I mean, all this talk going on between Shedeur Sanders getting an opportunity with Cleveland, but Dillon Gabriel taken in the third round and going in the order in which you're supposed to be in as a second string player. He's doing it. Well, now the starting quarterback, he's now doing it, not doing anything spectacular. He just happens to be the quarterback of the team that won 31-6.
And Shedeur didn't even get in for mop-up time, did he?
No, not that I know of. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I was trying to watch on YouTube. I forwarded to the highlights at the end. I still saw Dillon Gabriel in there. And I'm like, they must be trying to avoid something like, even if he went in mop-up duty, you're not going to have him throwing the ball downfield up 31-0. So how good could he look handing the ball off?
Well, and his ego.
I think they could have got away with giving him one drive at the end of the game.
Well, we'll have to find out in another game if they get another block, because they do have the defense, and if the offense can do anything at all, they'll be okay to be able to put him in there. I don't know. So, I know how the media is going to take this. They're going to probably go to the locker room and ask him, how did he feel about it? Bro, we won the game, man. Stop trying to pollute the win. But anyway, that's how it was in the NFL. This is Trav, and that's Bias. The Sports Bag Bros podcast will come back at you at another time. And until then, deuces.
Peace.